I wrote, the love of God is with us in success and in failure. That's what we found out in Psalms 139. For his nature is love. Unlike many human relationships, our Father is willing to fellowship with us beyond our weaknesses and our liabilities. Amen. He can address prodigals and those who remain in the house. We always talk about the prodigal son, we don't talk about the elder son. That's another issue. That's the other side of that coin. I ain't going to talk about that, but you need to look at it and see. That elder son had access to everything, but didn't recognize it. That self-pity. I've been with you all this time. You do that to me? Yeah. People, on the other hand, can be quite capricious in regards to how they involve themselves in our life. They can kind of be kind of suspect. Some people will walk in intimate fellowship with you in the midst of a failure and a struggle, but they'll turn their back if you get your strength back. Birds of a feather flocks together. Amen. They'll turn on you. They love you when you are hurt and bleeding, but disdain you if you regain your strength. The Father, on the other hand, loves and cares for us at all times, in spite of. So I tell single folks, you better get that love before you meet somebody. Amen. Okay, I'll move on. I digress. The Father, on the hand, he loves and cares for us at all times. He loves us when we are down in the dirt and when we are on top of the world. He just loves us. Because he's sovereign. He is willing to be intimate with everything there is about us. And you know, we get these little people tell us there's a certain status or a certain state of mind you have to be in for God to move on your behalf, before you can feel loved by God. That stuff has to go. It has to flee. It has made the church anemic towards God's love. We've had so many, and I'm telling you, I was sharing this with a pastor. I was telling him this week, I said, I really believe that the church don't suffer from knowledge, a lack of knowledge. We suffer from a lack of love. I'm telling you, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you love will empower you. When you tap into the love of God, it will empower you. It's an energy boost. It'll prepare you to a whole other dimension. You have a confidence, and I said this in the first thing, you have a confidence and assurance in your heart no matter what. And people say, well, you tell them that you give them a license to sin. No. I'm giving them a license to live. I'm not giving you a license to sin. But if I regard iniquity in my heart, he won't hear me. That's under the old covenant. I know. If you're a worker of iniquity, you already know the script. Away from me. But I'm talking about people that are having issues, they're stumbling, they're staggering. You know, they're not premeditated, you know what I'm saying? It's the difference. They're not just sitting around and trying to see what I can get into and what I can get away with. If you're still doing it that way, then you don't know the love of God. The grace of God won't allow you to operate on that frequency. When you really tap into it, because now your heart is so stitched and your heart is so intertwined with His, you can't even step outside of that boundary. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because of fear. It's because of love. He's willing to be intimate with us about everything. Even the things we aren't proud of. You never have to make excuses to the Father or explain yourself. He loves you. What He doesn't agree with, He understands. Because He knows we're a frame of dust. So what I got to do, I got to detox you from this thinking. Because some of us, we're looking for approval from the wrong places and the wrong people. If you're looking for approval from me, it's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. You made me to be God. Yeah, I need to honor you. I need to recognize you. But you don't need to, I don't need you to think that I'm dangling a carrot before you and that every move I make or every move you make, I got to approve it. That's control. That's a thought. That's not what I'm after. Yeah, I like respect like anybody else that's human. I want honor, of course. It goes with the territory. Sometimes we glorify the vessels. We glorify the people that God has given to us to help us along the way. And you know, and people say, "Well, I don't want to break your heart." Okay, good. That's cool. I'm not gonna take that away because that's a part of honor. But if in your head you hear my voice on every decision, every time you make a move, you hear me in your head. That's an unholy ghost. That ain't the Holy Ghost. That's an unholy ghost. That is not my voice. Tell your neighbor, that ain't him. God's voice leads. It don't drive you. So the Father has a love for us. Go to Romans 8. Yeah, I can make a step, and I did before. This is my second marriage, although I recognize it as my only. By the laws of the state of Illinois, I had two. By the laws of the kingdom, blood washed and blood bought, I only have one. But I stepped outside some boundaries, and I just concluded in my mind that God was done with me. It was a hard thing, you know, because of my sin consciousness. I come from a deliverance church, so I was bombarded with negativity, condemnation. You know, trying to cover my tracks, marrying a woman and all that other stuff that goes with it. And I thought God couldn't do anything else with me, do anything. And they ain't gonna even say the else. Couldn't even do anything with it. And God sent a word to me, to my pastor. You guys know it, but I've shared it many times. My mom came home from church, and I was watching TV, minding my own business. I wasn't at church, no. I was out of church for a little bit. You ain't figured that out. That's why I said she came home from church. That means I wasn't in church, and I didn't go to church. She came home, and the apostle told her, tell Steve to get that milk off his mouth and change his diaper. That was it. You know what I did? God, you love me. Yeah. You love me. That word. He didn't say, "Oh, Steve, we need you back. You're coming back, Steve. Oh yes, you have a call on you, Steve. You have this, Steve. You know. He went in the corner as a trainer, trying to get all the marks off me and telling me, "Come on, you can do good in there. We only got 3 minutes. Come on, you can do it. You can do it." He gave me a man's answer. That's a man's answer. Am I right, Mama? Yep. I went to service Tuesday. Yeah, got some deliverance and went on my business. Amen. No repeat offender. Didn't have to go back through that same thing. One simple word. I told you, these 20th century saints, they're a little quirky, just a little different. The 90s was full of nuts and flakes, I understand that. But we had rhino skin. Am I right? Look at Apostle. She's out of here. We were tough. We were tough. Take a lick and keep on ticking. We understood our steward leadership. We understood when the rod of correction came. Not this generation. Let me get back here. Romans 8. Yeah, we got a different group in the earth today. You know, I was following Apostle John this week. I think it was Tuesday. He put on there, and a lot of y'all follow him on Facebook. He said that I don't know where it came out of. I don't know if he had his bad situation, a bad Sunday or whatever. It was on Tuesday. He put on Facebook that there has to be a whole generation to die off before we can get done what God has to do in the earth. It stuck me. I'm like, wow, I thought I was the only one that was trying to get people to mobilize and to take all our energies and our resources around one vision. Go check the history. You go back, run through his thread. You see it said on it. I believe that. And because see, God got all the time in the world. I just don't have all the time in the world. Apostle John don't have it. We're on a limited time basis. Amen. God will wait for something to die to get done what he had in his heart from the foundations. It's not bound to us. But we live that way. That's what I heard. We live like God can't do anything without us. Romans 8:31. Yeah. Go ahead.
What shall we say then? What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?
If God be for us, who can be against us? If who be for us? God. If God be for us, who can be against us? And in other words, there's nothing that we're facing right now that can offset God's love towards us. Everything we're faced with in the now is temporal. God is eternal. His protection, his provision, his love is eternal. Everything that's connected to us is subject to change. But God isn't. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. You got it? Verse 32.
He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things?
How should he not with him? Who's the son he's talking about? His own son. His own Jesus. So he gave Jesus as a witness, as a testimony, as a ratification of his covenant, his eternal covenant. He says, with him, how should I not with him? Remember, we're heirs of God, joint heirs with Christ. Right? Let us know. He said, how should he not with him give us what? All things freely. 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 I prophesy freely. I preach freely. I lay hands on the sick freely. Freely. No stipulations, no strings. People will tell you, you got to do this, you got to do that. I know there's a character connected to the prophetic. I know there's a responsibility when you start functioning in the gifts of the Spirit. That goes without saying. There has to be a character connected to the charisma. I understand that.